Soul Calibur.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing you another video. So, we're going to be talking about Soul Calibur 6 again today. There were a few reveals that I would like to go over, but first, one of them that has kind of been a controversy I want to go over is if you've seen this picture right here of the lizard race create a character, or create a soul, then you probably saw from some people's videos and from yourself, even just looking at the Gamescom, that there was a spot for unique dialogue where you can actually like customize unique dialogue for battles depending on the situation. You can type in like what you want to say, and a lot of people were going to speculate that that was going to be for unique voices. That actually has been deconfirmed and shut down. A user on Reddit, who I'm going to post right here, was actually talking to one of the devs, and they actually said that no, you have preset vocal patterns or vocal voices like you usually do, and this actual text is just for like text for in-game battle, and you can actually toggle whether you want your opponent to actually see your text or not. I guess it's for online. It's probably for offline as well, but mainly for other players to see. I guess if you want to talk a little trash within reason, because there's probably limitations on it. So that was like a little bit frustrating. I can kind of understand where people are coming from, because ever since Soul Calibur 3 came out and you can select the voices, I wanted your character to be able to have more of a presence in the game. As you know, in 3, Chronicles of the Sword, it was very dialogue heavy, but your character didn't really talk outside of the, the victory dialogue, or the beginning and entrance dialogue, stuff like that. But well, we know now that that has been deconfirmed, so we are probably just going to have to select a voice like usual and have the preset dialogue that obviously the voice recorders prepared in advance. It would be nice one day to kind of be able to record our own stuff, like maybe using the PlayStation Eye or the PlayStation microphone, something like that, and give our own unique dialogue. But I don't see that happening anytime during this generation. And though it would be cool, I can see the impracticality of that, because there's no way to really censor voice unless they're using like voice recognition software on the actual PlayStation to know like what words you're saying, and even sometimes then it can be confused with like accents and dialects and stuff like that, so it's a little bit hard to pull off. So though it would be cool, I'm still kind of excited about having unique online dialogue, because at least that gives our characters some more personality that like sets it apart from other characters. Though before I get into the leaks, I did want to say that one of the things that I am scared about for Soul Calibur 6, and this is the only thing that I'm nervous about, is we don't have a weaponless combat style. I know that I create a lot of characters. In Soul Calibur 4 and 5, I took up all 50 slots. I had to keep the leading characters when I wanted new characters. But I have to say the majority of my characters I was forced to give the Devil Jin style, which is fine because I like Devil Jin, but sometimes it didn't work out too well. But when I create characters such as Superman, for example, or Spider-Man, or any iteration of comic book characters I'm probably going to create that don't utilize weapons, it looks kind of ridiculous if you're gonna have Superman running out there with like Tira's like thing, or like Talim's like wave swords, you know what I mean? So I would like to see a weaponless combat style, and if they do utilize someone from Tekken, because it's obviously the same company, then I would like to see, I mean, they're not going to choose somebody outside of the main character ranks, but I would like to see Kazuya Mishima this time, or basic Jin, as opposed to Devil Jin or something like that. But I'd even be fine with Devil Jin making a return, just as long as there's like a weapon-based combat system that I can put on some of my created characters. And if they don't do that, it might be a little disappointing. But that's the only thing that I can think of at this time that would actually disappoint me about the game. So moving on, Okubo was at Motohiro Okubo, who is the executive producer of the game. He was at I think it was called Gamescom. He was at some kind of convention over the weekend. It was on Saturday, and he tweeted about it prior. They actually tweeted about it, showing a picture of him wielding Soul Edge, which is pretty cool. And he said that he has something to reveal there, and it's come and gone now since, and it came out that there was like some story mode boards that were showing off, and some of them were very interesting. Like, we've seen Hwang before, but we actually see Hwang here again. He shows up in Sung Mina's story again, and this may hint at these characters being possibly part of the DLC. I'm not sure, because it could go the other way. It could say, well, they're in the game technically in the story mode, therefore they're not going to be playable. But hopefully that still doesn't counteract some people like Young Song, because I'm kind of 50-50 whether I want Young Song or Hwang in the game. I would like both, but between the two of them I like them both equally, so it's hard to make a decision based on that. But we see Hwang once again. He's holding Sung Mina, so hopefully this leads more towards the latter, that these characters are going to be, because there's 3 of them, are going to be part of the DLC, and they're just being hinted at, as opposed to not being in the game at all. So it would be nice to see that. The second set of pictures is, I believe, 2 pictures. It comes from Raphael's story, and it shows Raphael when he's a bit younger, and this is when he was like in that war or whatever, and he comes across Amy as a little girl. And then there's more dialogue between the 2 of them, and as you can see here, Amy is in her like Soul Calibur 3 looking form, because Amy first showed up I think in the main cinema of Soul Calibur 2, but she actually does appear as a main actual playable character in Soul Calibur 3. And it shows her with like a slight redesign. She looks pretty cool, and then it shows the Raphael from now with the glasses and everything like that, the mask. And it looks really cool. Like, maybe this hints at her possibly being one of the DLC characters as well. I know she was heavily requested. I personally would rather have Viola, the Viola version of her, because that's a unique fighting moveset, and it's something that we wouldn't have in the game, because we already have a rapier via Raphael himself. So I hope that she's DLC, but I also kind of hope that this means that these characters are not DLC, because it makes room for other more unique characters. But that's just a personal preference. Some people really want her in the game, and I can understand why. There was another picture I'm not going to show. It was like of, it just said Lizardman General, which we know that the Lizardman is like a race, so we know that they're going to be in the game in some faction. And it didn't say Aeon or have anything to do with that, so I don't think there was a reason to speculate any further on that. It's just a Lizardman General. But, so I don't think I forgot anything. If I did, I'll probably add it to the video, but I think that covers it for today. So do you think that these characters being in a story mode means that they're simply trying to incorporate them, Bandai Namco I mean, in a way just to have them in the game, and they're not going to be part of the DLC packs? Or do you believe that this means that they are hinted at being part of the DLC? And which do you prefer? And if there's another character that's on the list, which if there's 4 characters, right? So if we already have Tira, and then it would be Hwang and Amy, then that leaves a 4th character. Could that be the possible second guest character everyone was theorizing about? Possibly Ciri from The Witcher. I don't know if I'd be too happy about that, because we already have Geralt, so I would like to have another actual, legacy character in the game, just so that we have, another slot that's not taken up by something that a lot of people aren't going to use. Because we can always create Ciri and to create a character system, it won't be that hard. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you have any differing opinions on the information that was leaked? And if you like the video, then be sure to let me know by, of course, hitting the thumbs up button, because that'll motivate me to make more videos in the future. I'm going to make them regardless, but just nice to see the appreciation. And I want to thank everybody for stopping by my channel and watching. And be sure to check out my affiliated channel, Rich at Ragaroth Enterprises. be sure to find a link to his channel in my description box down below, along with everything else we talked about. And that's going to be the video for today, guys. And as always, stay powered up. Peace.
믿어진 후기들이 끝이라는 게너 때문에 이어내가 계속 끝난 거야 surely 쓰던 가면들은 넘어가려 해 또 넘어가려 해난 물 뻔한 얘기 네 맘대로 이리저리 뒤졌어 끝까지 여기저기 말이 오는 거야 maybe